you have a business that you are looking to grow? Advertising with Church of Uganda Family TV is the way to go. We are located on Church House, level 13, along Kampala Road. We offer favorable rates and an extremely creative production team that will work with you to take your business to the next level. To give us a ring, call us on 0781 084215 or 0750 655232. Church of Uganda Family TV, enriching lives.
It's a beautiful evening here on Church of Uganda Family TV, and thank you for watching us wherever you're watching us from. Yeah, this is Church of Uganda, and you're watching a family talk show every Friday from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. It's beautiful. Those ones that are still in jam, we know that you're going to reach well at home. Just know that you're going to reach well, and those ones that have reached at home, we send our greetings to everyone, and the kids that are watching us, thank you for coming back to from school, and everyone, every parent that is watching us, just know that we love you so much. Brendah Mahooro is my name, and today in studio I have Justus and Sophie, and we're going to be talking about fitting together. First of all, what is fitting together? You're going to know, like joining those pieces together to find the one piece. You're welcome in studio today. I'm very delighted to have you.
Thank you, Brendah.
First of all, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you too.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.
Yes.
Because I'm just seeing you now.
Yeah.
For the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're looking good. Indeed, you're fitting together.
Already? Okay,
Yeah,
thank you.
let's begin with Sophie. Introduce yourself. What does Sophie do? Yeah.
Thank you, Brendah, and good evening, our viewers. My name is Sophie Tumwebaze, and I'm married to this gentleman besides me. I work with Glauben Industrial Services Limited, a company that I partner with him. We work together, and I'm a co-director in that company. We deal in personal protective gear, or what we call personal protective equipment, in the area of health, safety, and environment.
Wow. Amazing. Mr. Justus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Tumwebaze Justus is my name. I've been married to Sophie Tumwebaze for 12 years now. We work together, like she said. We co-own Global Industrial Services, safety consultancy, and personal protective equipment company, among other things. Besides that, I think we are involved in a lot of ministry in the church together, and in the community. At the same time, we are parents. So we are parents of 2 sons and 3 daughters.
Wow, nice to have you on the show.
And thanks for inviting us.
Thank you.
How did you spend your Valentine's Day? It has been a love month. Yeah. And Monday we celebrated.
Yeah.
So how did you spend? Sophie, did you get a gift?
Yes, my Valentine came with a gift, but I'm not a flower person. So
why don't you like flowers?
I don't know, for some reason I don't like flowers. Not that I don't like flowers, but I don't mind them. Though I wouldn't really be over the moon just because I've received flowers. Yeah, so he knows my love language. Exactly. So what he did on Valentine's, he sent me a token of money that was around 300,000.
Yeah, like that. Who wouldn't want that?
Yeah, I went, I did I made myself comfortable. Yes.
And then just as you receive a gift, so you know women usually want to be on the receiving end.
Yes.
Want to be receivers. So did you get anything on Valentine's?
Yes, I got is it shea butter?
Butter for men.
Butter for men. Yes.
Very nice butter.
Very nice butter for men. I was not
You also
home.
don't like flour?
I wouldn't. You know, I actually like flowers, and I actually have flowers at home. I'm the one who takes care of the flower garden, so I would mind maybe if she can plant some instead of picking and bringing me a bouquet. You'd go to the garden and
Because you plant them, so there is no any reason as to why I have to go and buy and then one.
yes, I would say I can go to the garden and feel the scent of each flower that I need. Yeah, but yeah, we didn't really celebrate ourselves from home, and besides, Valentine's is Sophie's, it's Kasiki for her birthday, which is usually on the 15th.
Yeah, you're stealing exams. You're stealing exams.
Yeah, so yeah.
So you can't even forget.
No, I cannot.
Yeah, and another thing, like, I'm sure there is a couple who are still going through that even up to now. That on Valentine's I did not get anything,
Yes.
one. So how do you expect me to be happy?
Oh, yeah, I know.
So what do you tell to such a couple that didn't get anything? Surely.
I think
So-
love
so
is
sure.
celebrated every day. So it's not Valentine's Day that we celebrate love. So maybe it's to such a couple, they should try to know, or they should appreciate the fact that every day they can walk in love, they celebrate love. So it's not particularly for Team Feb that we should celebrate love. And to me, I think that was my take home on that day, and it has always been. I don't look forward to Valentine's Day by the way.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, let's dive into our topic. You see, like 1 hour is too much time, but
No.
in no time,
Yes.
see when you get it home.
Yes.
Yeah, first of all, we want to understand what is fitting together. How do we use fitting together? Let's begin with Justus.
Okay. First of all, we are excited that we are asked to share about this topic of fitting. We are feeling like holding each other ready to show that we are fitting together. But I think when we are looking at this topic really to share this evening, we are looking at more of complementing each other as a couple, because you realize that we've come on this earth, or God has created us with different strengths, different competencies. We excel in some areas while we don't excel in other areas. So fitting together means that as a couple, you're looking out for areas where you can complement your spouse. Because at the end of the day, if you're talking marriage, you're talking about a team. And if you're talking about a team, you're talking about being the best team, or being the winning team, or being the team that can maximize their potential. So if I'm good at striking, I have no problem fitting together with the person who defends. At the end of the day, we want to win the game. So yeah, I think it's complementing each other.
Basically, do you have to look out for that defender? If you or even anyone else out of football can do.
Yes, and I think for people who like lovers of football or any other game, every person usually has a role according to their strength. And usually when it's time to score, the striker is positioning themselves to score. When it's time to defend, not to be scored against, the defender takes the lead role. So the team is always aware that this one is good here, this is their role, this is my role here. So I think fitting together then becomes about being a solid team. Yes, it's about being a solid team.
So Sophie, where does fitting together come in? Like, did you feel like Justus felt is fitting into your formula? And how do you feel like this was the right man? Or did you have something written in down, or your formula that you would work with?
That's
Yeah.
an interesting question. Actually, there was no formula. Yesterday we were just talking through how we began. I think at the end of it all, or at the beginning of it all, is the vision that you catch as a marriage. When we started, we were struggling, just like any other couple. It's something that we got along the way, and we were like, okay, this is what we want. At the end of it all, what do we want in our marriage? Why did we get married? We are in this marriage to stay, and we have to make it work. But before it was a little bit difficult.
How?
How was it difficult? I was always, he is very particular. He's a perfectionist and I'm not. He pays so much attention to details. Just like he told you, he flowers, at home, wants everything neat. And me, provided life has to go on. So there are things that I don't really pay much attention to. Yes, and you would find us having a strike. We would be quarreling. At times you would have that strife and you just give up. You're like, okay, I know you're always the right person. You are always right, me I'm always wrong. So we will move with that.
So was it a bit difficult to catch up to each other?
It was a little bit difficult.
When the relationship
relationship
was just began?
Exactly, the first years of our marriage. But as we went along, as we joined, we told you, I think at first, that we are members of St. Francis Marriage Fellowship, and interacting we're in fellowship with couples that are much older than us, learning from their experiences. We had to come online. We're like, hey, wait a minute, there is something we are missing here, and the earlier we grab it, the better for us. So that is how that context of fitting in came in. Like, look at my weaknesses, don't capitalize on them. Let's see how we work along with them. If I don't fit in here, you can come and try to fill up the gap as I fill up the gap on this side. So that's how we managed to catch our vision and move with that.
Oh, so like in fitting together, do you have to have a formula? Like if you're a perfectionist, you have to look out for the perfectionist to avoid going through all these corners and what? Yeah.
I think.
Is there a formula of fitting together? Because today I was conversing someone with like this topic of fitting together, and he was like, me. I had a paper that I could move on with, that even at the university, I could get out my paper and I was like, okay, this woman talks well. This one is not among my.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's interesting. They say that the reasons that get us into marriage are not the reasons that keep us into marriage. And I think when you're starting out in a marriage, a young man, a young woman.
So you're saying the reasons that get us into marriage?
Yes.
And not the reasons
that sustain us into marriage.
Like reasons.
You must. Yes.
I want a physical.
Yes, I want.
Physically built man.
Yes, I want. Yes, six pack, a figure eight.
Yeah.
Those could be the reasons that make you decide to marry someone. But along the way, you realize that along the way it will cease to be very important, because a six pack can be lost. The figure eight will surely be lost. If you want to keep it, you may take more time trying to keep. So the reason you need to adapt, and I think that's what Sophie was talking about, catching the vision. So once you get into this marriage, you need to quickly adapt and realize, hey, perhaps there are other things I did not consider while getting into this marriage, and now they must be paid attention to. You see, like you talked about your friend, when many people are getting into marriage, and certainly us, when we are getting into marriage.
Especially men.
I think even women. But maybe their list is hidden somewhere. For us, we could be. I think usually it's about me, what I want to get. I want someone who will be cooking for me, a nice cook, and someone who will be taking care of me, take out this,
You want
can
a
sleep,
perfectionist.
breakfast in bed. You know, it's about you. Then you enter this marriage and realize that, okay, for this marriage to work, it's actually more about what I give. And I think this is really one of the take-homes that I would want our viewers to really catch. My brothers and sisters out there who are in marriage and struggling, like most people really do, is that in the marriage, once you reach there, it's about what you give that will help you.
What you give.
What you give, what you're willing to give. And the vision Sophie was talking about is that early enough in our marriage, thankfully, I think by God's grace, we realized that it's about service. It's about serving your spouse, helping them to be their better selves. When you look at it in terms of what your spouse will do for you to enjoy bliss and be, the happiest, happy thereafter, then you'll be disappointed because your spouse also has their needs. So fitting together means that you're looking out for your spouse's needs and trying to meet them. And I think that's what we learned early on in our marriage. And ours, I think, up to now is a marriage of me trying to meet Sophie's needs.
Even up to now?
Up to now. Yes.
So how do we catch up with that vision? Yeah, because someone maybe wants to get married, but what they have on their formula list is maybe 6 packs, is someone who has good, nice figure, someone 6 packs. So how do I catch up with that vision? And I know that, okay, what should be on the list? Yeah, that thing that is relevant.
I think there is no formula in catching up with that vision. It's being intentional. You purpose, you decide. Just like Joshua says, that as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. So it is something that you purpose to do.
You as an individual.
You as an individual. No one is going to come to you and sit you down and tell you, Brendah, you're going to do like this in marriage. If you are not interested in doing it, trust me, you will not take their pieces of advice. But if you purpose and be like, okay, let me sit down. Why did I get married? What am I looking at in marriage? At the end of it all, by the way, marriage is a ministry. Then
Absolutely.
you will sit and decide as an individual, as a wife, as a husband, as a young girl intending to get married, as a young man intending to get married, that okay, this is what I want to be in marriage. When I get there, this is what I am going to, or this is what I have decided to do in my marriage, to be a better person, to catch that vision. Yes,
Yeah. And then Justus, what does fitting together mean? Yeah, how does it help us in our marriage?
Okay, I think that's I started by talking about like a team. If you're a team, the objective is to win. Okay. For example, the vision for our marriage is that we want to be a purpose-driven family, which one spreads the love of God, the love of Christ in the communities where we are, starting from our very own home. So the ministry starts by me reaching out to my spouse, then our children, then people in our home, immediate community, and as far as God can enable us to influence. So for you to be able to achieve that, you realize you need to do it as a team. And as a team, you realize that I have this strength and I have these weaknesses. It's a self-evaluation. And then you realize that your spouse actually is a very, very great resource who comes to complement you in this team. I cannot overemphasize the importance of looking out for your spouse's strength in, if you want to, as part of fitting together. The challenge that we do is to find out, to see areas where our spouse is not very strong, and we capitalize on that. And we're always hammering on that, we're hammer on how they don't pay attention to details, because for us we pay attention to details. We hammer about how they are, always spending money, yet for us we want to save,
Money.
For example, one of the differences that we realized in our marriage is that Sophie is very happy to take care of the here and now. She's the person who ensures that we celebrate birthdays. She's the person who ensures that we buy new clothes. We take care of today. Now,
You'll be happy.
she wants to be happy
today.
today. She wants to hear, but perhaps her predisposition or her strength is to see that everybody is happy now. Preparing nice meals. She's always, thinking, Sunday, nice meals. Now, on the other hand, I am the person of the future. That I may even fail to live today thinking about the future, which I'm not sure even may be there.
Yeah.
So, I am the saving and investing person in the home. Sophie is the investment of today. So, we realize actually this is very good because we can leverage. We can celebrate today and also think about tomorrow. I think that has helped us to not struggle so much in terms of finances, because ultimately we've known finances can be for today, they are actually for today and for tomorrow. So instead of looking at Sophie's wanting to take care of today as a weakness or as a problem, or her seeing me as a miser who wants to save everything for the future, we've said actually it's a plus for both of us. So we leverage on each other's predisposition, and then we are able to have a healthy financial system.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Yes.
Then I know that every day that unveils itself, evening, morning, there is a couple that wants to join into marriage.
Yes.
Yeah. So what would you advise that couple that would want to join? Like, do they have to follow the seminar? What do they have to have? Basically, we talk on the man's side, and some people talk on the woman's side. What do they have to have particularly? To know about their fitting. Because they found it hard.
Okay, maybe from a man's side, I think the reasons that get the man married are okay. It's okay to like a beautiful girl. You're a young man, you've seen a beautiful girl, you want to marry them. Fine, very good. You don't need to have the whole journey figured out for you to start.
There are others that have like 2 papers.
No. I think some of them get disappointed.
They wrote down like 2 papers.
Yes.
But all of them is all about physical beauty.
Yes, but so it's okay to have those reasons: beauty, brains, good family background, and you do all that research. Fine, it's okay to start like that. But along the way, I think as a man, one of the things you must realize is that you're going to be a leader in that marriage. God has appointed you as a leader. And as a leader, you are a servant leader. You're a leader just like Christ was the leader of the church to an extent that he died for it. At least you're not demanded to die. But that kind of dedication for family, you must know that ultimately providing for your family, caring for your spouse, and if God blesses you with children, rise upon your shoulders. So it's a responsibility we are talking about. So that vision or that ultimately that purpose for service, you have to catch it as a young man. If you do not catch it, you're going to struggle. Why? Because every time there will be opportunities, there will be responsibilities for you to serve, and you will shy away from that. And then the marriage will face strife. So I encourage every young man that wants to get into the marriage institution or has just joined, or even those that have been in for some time, take service and leadership for your family as your sole responsibility in that marriage.
And just as another thing, that
Yes.
before even you look out for a fitting, what do you have to begin with as a man? Because you see someone, a man has nowhere to sleep, but
Yes.
he's looking for a fitting. You know,
Yes.
as a girl child, you're like,
Yeah.
where is she going to be?
Of course, yeah, it's good also to do those, I would call them economic assessments and calculations to see if you're really ready to take care of someone's daughter, you know. But it's not as very, very important as the vision of how you want to progress thereafter. I listened to a story of Miles Monroe that when he got married to his wife, we know how an influencer he was, that he actually married his wife from his bride's mother's house. Initially, they were staying with the mother with the mother-in-law. Yeah, so where to stay if you're really you have a strong vision and you know where you're going. I think it shouldn't be the biggest of challenges.
You have to have a vision.
You need to have a vision, and in that vision, you need to know that ultimately I am going to be responsible for this woman and what concerns her. And I think that's another point I wanted really to bring across, is that when you meet a young woman, a young man, you're looking at them as an individual. But this woman has gone through a certain life. She has a family she's coming from. You may take this lady only to find that one, she's the firstborn, and she's actually expected to be the breadwinner at home. So what are you going to do? Are you going to say, me, I love you, I don't want anything to do with the family where you're coming from? So it's understanding and embracing that you're taking the person as a whole package, as they are, with their baggage and with their benefits, and it not being a problem for you, knowing that actually God is going to use you to minister, to reach out to that person and make them better. And that's really the purpose we enter marriage for. It is to reach out to the person and to make them better.
Yeah,
Yes.
wow. And then, Sophie, what if you find a man without a vision? First of all, he has nowhere to sleep. He has nothing even up to rely on. And then you put yourself in those shoes of a woman who has found himself a fitting, okay, like the topic of today, has no vision, have nothing to show you. So what do you rely on?
Maybe those two are different. You might not be having something to show me, but I have a vision. Yet,
What if he has no vision? Do you say like that? Because there are men like that, they have no vision.
usually, I would expect someone to have a vision for the marriage. That's what I was telling you, that these are two different things in marriage. Because when we started, I think using our own example, he had a vision, but he didn't have what to show me. We were just in school. I think for him, he was lucky that he was working, but was getting peanuts.
That was a lot of money. Peanuts.
Yeah, and we went through those series, we went through those situations when we are dating, and then of course eventually getting married. We had our vision. We would see where we were going many years from the time we got married. But remember the time when we are planning for a wedding, I usually remind him that we had people who, most of our friends would come to contribute towards the function, but they did not have money. So their contribution was, I'll be in charge of the drinks, I'll be in charge of the eats. But remember, you don't have even money to buy the drinks, you don't have money to buy the food.
But you're going to do
You're
everything.
going to get married. And for us, we just wanted to get married. We wanted to be together, to just...
That is all what you want.
Exactly.
Oh, we're just going to go in for a short break, but we're going to come back on that. Vision. Here is what is the vision. Just as going to take us through that. What is the vision, first of all, for a man who is out there?
Yeah.
How do you write a vision?
Yeah.
Do you write anything that you know? Do you know how to write a vision? Anyway, if you want to indulge in the conversation, just give us an SMS or a WhatsApp message. We are going to be reading through your messages in 15 minutes to come. Let's go in for a short break.
know that you can now enjoy great enriching shows anywhere through the Family TV app? Here is how to download it. Open Play Store on your phone. Search for the Family TV app. Click Install. After installing it, open it and enjoy enriching content anywhere, everywhere, anytime. Family TV, enriching lives.
Welcome back from that short break. I told you that in case you want to join in the conversation, just give us an SMS, write an SMS, and we shall be reading through your messages. And in case you want to ask any question about this topic, you can ask anything. And you can even send us a WhatsApp message, we shall be reading them. Before watching this break, we're asking ourselves, what is a vision? How do they write a vision? And how do you come and fit in the vision? Sophie. Mostly some women when they're writing, when they're having their visions, or when they are thinking of the fitting, they want to think of they'll be like, I want a tall man, I want a six-pack, I want to have a man that is rich, I want to have a man that has built himself an empire, a kingdom. Wow. I mean, you're married without having anything. So what do you look at when you're looking at your fitting as a woman?
Thank you, Brenda. I think we are talking about what I looked at, particularly what I looked at in Justus when I was choosing him. When I looked at a man who loved the Lord, he was born again. So to me, I know that when a man loves the Lord, I had asked God to give me someone who would love me. Christ would want me to be loved. And that is the picture that he showed when he approached me. That's what I looked at. And then I also told you that he didn't have a lot. He didn't have anything, for lack of a better word. He didn't have anything. Apart from the job that he had that was giving him little money, but he had a big vision for us. Yeah, he had a phone. He had a big vision for us, where you would see in the vision that at some point God will bless you with a family, God will bless you with this, God will bless you with bigger jobs. So that is the vision that he had, and I think that is the vision that I was referring to. So that is what I looked at. I was like, okay, I think when this man takes me, we will work together. we will work together and we will make a better marriage.
So what was your mentality?
My mentality?
Because right now he's not showing anything,
Yeah.
like you said, but he's promising you the future.
Yeah, I think to me, the key that I looked at, he had. So I stuck with those. And that was, he was in ministry, he loved the Lord, he was born again. So I stuck with those two. It's like, okay, this is it. He loves the Lord and he has a vision. So the rest will come along the way.
Wow.
Yes.
Then Justus, as a man is looking for her fitting or for his fitting, help that man to write a vision that maybe he has nothing, but when he's going to talk to that lady.
There's nothing like having nothing. You have something.
At least he had a phone.
I graduated. I had a
You had a
phone.
degree,
I had just got it. How could this? I had nothing. I had something.
Sure.
Tangible things to show.
Because that's very interesting. You know, when I met Sophie, Sophie she tells me that the time I met her, she was not actually planning to get married. And I proposed to her on our first date.
What?
Yes.
What if she said, no, I'm not ready?
It's a risk you have to take. You have to take risks. You know, when we met with Sophie, we met at a Great Wall Chinese restaurant. That's where we had our first date. I told her, okay. So we had been going to the same church. I'd been seeing her, but we had not talked about anything like marriage. So I told her, you know what? Okay. So I invited you that we have this date. We chat. We get to know each other. But this is my plan. I would say this is my game plan. But I told her this is my plan. Yes, on the first date. I told her I want us to date. I want us to. Yes, I said I want us to date, to relate, and if this relationship works out, I want us to get married. For me, I have been seeing you. You have the qualities that I want, but okay, we'll take this time to know each other. But ultimately, I want us to get married. So the vision at that point was laid. That I was relating, not trying out. I was in this seriously. I was in this for the long haul. So she didn't even have the time to think about money. Here is a person who wants to get married. You're talking money. So at that point, the vision really was more of, this is where I want this relationship to end. One thing I should talk about vision is that a vision is not static and is not cut in stone. The reasons that got me into marriage have since changed. I have adapted. I have found there are new dynamics that have come in that I have had to update my vision. For example, when we got married, I was not very sure that this marriage was going to thrive if I oriented myself towards helping Sophie to be a better her and generally serving her and having her as a team member for us to serve the community and to generally raise the children that God gave us. So along the way, now our vision has changed. By that time, she wasn't in the vision. It was personal. Now we have a family vision. What do we want to be?
So like the vision changes.
Yes, it keeps update. You keep updating it.
That vision.
Yes, like you can start with.
I thought a vision is a long term.
It's a long term, but
Keep adding.
You keep updating with new. You start with Samsung Pro, Samsung Pro Max. Maybe you'll get Pro Max 2.
Like the marriage vision is it like the vision that of a company? Is it a vision like of a marriage?
It's more or less the same, because you see, it's like an organization or a company is. I think it comes from an organism. An organism keeps growing, keeps evolving, keeps changing. So also the marriage keeps evolving through different stages. So you have to keep refining. But at the center of it all, what has kept constant is that one, we are here to build a marriage that brings glory to God.
Wow.
And this God is not an idol. This God is a living God, and who we can demonstrate our allegiance to this God through the way we relate to other human beings that he has created. So, and the first person is the spouse, then the children that are there, then the people that he brings in your life. And so now our vision is a vision of service. We are serving basically, and when you're serving, you're looking out for the interests of your customer. Yeah?
Who is the customer now?
In this relationship, she's my customer, number one customer. So I must ensure that my customer is happy with my service. Yes. Then I have other customers that are related to the primary customer.
The passenger.
Yes.
Yeah.
But she's the customer, and I have to look out for their needs. And I have to help them to be their best selves. And I have to point out their strength and help them to flourish, to come out. Yes, and minimize the weaknesses. Yes.
Wow, that's really amazing.
Yes.
And then there is a question here. This one says, "Hi Sophie, I am Lynn, and my question is, I love my husband and he loves me too. But if the people around us don't love us to stay together, what shall I do?"
Wow. That's an interesting question. Thank you, Lynn, for that question. I think what I would say or comment about that is, if both of you, just like we're talking about the vision,
They all love each other,
Yes.
they are all fitting together, but the people around them.
if both of them love each other, I think that is the most important and key. So they should focus on each other. Let me use that one. Focusing on each other first, and first they are already loving each other, which is good. So to me, I think the outside should not matter a lot.
Yeah.
Yes, the outside should not matter a lot. It matters if your husband or your spouse is being pulled by the negative energy out, because it infiltrates the marriage and then it brings friction. But if both of them love each other and their purpose is actually to build that marriage, then that shouldn't be much of an issue. That's what I can tell you.
Wow,
Yes.
that's amazing. And then this one says, "Mrs. Mahooro, Mr. Justus and Mrs. Sophie, good evening to you all. Munguleni Thomas from Lugazi, specifically school. I duly appreciate you for the program where I personally have learned a lot, because I'm also planning to marry, hence has given me more power and vision about marriage. Thanks, Brendah, and the guests have a blessed time." Thank you so much, Thomas. This was appreciating the show.
Thanks.
Yeah, and before we went into the questions, that you talked about expectation. What should be your expectations in case the fitting that you've gotten does not fit into your expectations? You're already in the marriage, but it's not fitting into your expectations. Like what you expected is not what you're getting. Those are the challenges.
Yes.
So how do you overcome those challenges? Of which there are some relationships or marriages that are going through those challenges. What they expected or what they expected when they're going into marriage, it's not what they're getting. Maybe the husband is so quarrelsome, maybe the husband is so selfish, is into stingy association. maybe the wife is so quarrelsome, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Let's begin with Sophie.
Yeah, that's go.
Wow.
Hey.
I was just thinking through that. Remember, Justus at first talked about marriage being a ministry. And you're not expecting much from the other side, but purposing to give out what you have in you. You give and give and give until you get tired of giving. Then the other person will eventually tag along the way. But the more you try to point out the negative, look out for the negative in them, look out for the things that really don't please you, then the more you'll get hurt. So what I can say to the input I can give into that question is, don't give up. You just give and give and give. Take this as a ministry, and I know that God will be seeing what you're doing, and at a later stage, He will come in for you. Yeah, maybe Justus has something small to add on.
Okay, that's very interesting. You know, I know there's this ideal picture you have in your mind, and then there's this reality that is hitting you. I have always thought that every situation can be improved. It can be improved. And people usually buckle under the weight of love. Even the hardest of hearts will usually, I don't want to use melt, but will change when they are constantly loved. The question you asked was expectations. The challenge is that most of us are going into this marriage, into this relationship with the what is in it for me? What am I going to get out of it? If someone was going to get married and they said, okay, what do you expect to give in this marriage? What are you taking? What do you have to offer? Someone will be like, okay. They may not have thought about what they have to offer, but we have this whole list of what we want to get. And I think that's where the frustration comes in. I think it's high time we looked at marriage as an institution of service. If you take a job, you go for at a panel, you don't get a job because of what you expect to get out of the job. Usually it is by convincing the panel on what you will give that you will get this job. How much more will this marriage, which is even a lifetime job, be? So I think it's important to approach marriage with the attitude of giving, not the attitude of getting.
Expecting.
The attitude of expecting makes us blind to our own limitations, to our own imperfections, and we are always looking, how come she's not doing this for me? How come they are not doing this for me? But the question is, for you, what are you giving? What are you doing? It's because we serve a just God. Usually, when you give, the principle is that you will receive. The principle is not that you will get and then you will give. The principle is that you give and receive. Give and receive. And like we explained, this fitting together will even be more real and more alive when you're looking for opportunities to give. Yes, not opportunities to receive. You're not some sort of king or queen that is here to be served and they hearken unto your voice as if no, you're here as a servant, as someone to give out. Someone, thank you very much. You have a customer here. Please ensure that you have a happy customer and they pay the bill.
Yes. I love this one saying it's my superpower couple. Thanks for allowing God to use you. I'm so proud of you. And just know I love you, Jackie Muhumuza. Thank you, Jackie Muhumuza, for watching the show. And in case you're out there and you want to join, or you want to compliment, or you want to send in anything, please feel free on all our numbers, SMS, or you can send a WhatsApp message and we shall be reading it through. Yeah, and the question here, which seems interesting, for a couple that has been married, they have been fitting together, and then we've seen ministers of God. Yeah, and then them, they are out there, they began out well, and then they are coming to their old age, and then they are doing divorces. So is it not like they chose their fitting was not right, or when God talked to them, they things were not going through? What happens when you've gotten your fitting, and then after you've gotten kids together, you've had merry times together, and then you reach in your old age, and you're like, you know what? These things are not working out well. All of you are maybe in 40s and 50s. You know things are not working out well. You know what? Let's divorce. What happens?
What happens?
What
Okay,
happened?
I really don't want to sound like an expert here, but
Is it
I
like
think
the fitting was not right?
no. I think first of all, I don't want to. You see, there are more people that are alive than the people who are dead, who are dying.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the picture of marriage is not a picture of doom and gloom. No. Marriages are working. We have flourishing marriages, but like any other, it's in life. Some bad things are going to happen, but there are pretty much very many good things. So, one pastor, one couple that we were looking up to is going to falter. Is going to, and I think that's the work of the devil anyway. He does that, but by and large, I don't think these people would have intended to end up like that, but because of what we said, that you need to keep, I have one of my mentors, he was here, Michael, said where I used to use the word called kusesam. You don't have to keep kusesaring. You need to keep, you have to keep adding the coals for the fire for in the marriage to keep burning. The tendency is that sometimes we kind of have a lapse, and when we have that lapse, that's where the devil takes advantage, and an otherwise good marriage that was inspiring to many people just goes down the drain. But the Bible has a scripture for that, because I think Paul is the one who says that be very careful. Oh, James, he said, I want to say, if you think you stand, be careful, lest you fall flat on your face. So it's important to keep aware that however much you've pushed this institution, you've been on TV like us here talking, the enemy is not sleeping.
It's not sleeping.
You can be caught off guard, and your marriage will be normal. So we have to work out this institution with a lot of fear and trembling and respect. Yes, and respect and humility. Otherwise, that can happen. But by and large, marriages are working. There are more marriages that are succeeding than the marriage. No, absolutely not.
Actually, to add on what Justus has said, this common song we used to sing in Scripture Union, they are watching you, marking all you do, hearing the things that you say. It's like he said, you have to keep on guard. Or otherwise, you can get to that stage where you, I think, take things for granted. Okay, we are happily married. My husband is born again. Yes, he can do certain things. My wife is born again. But remember, we are in the world, and we are subject to temptation just like any other human being with flesh and blood.
Yeah, and then this one says, we appreciate the sharing by Justus and Sophie to Tumwebaze. Very inspiring. Then this one has a question for you guys. I think this goes to Justus or Amy or Sophie. Have you doubted the intention of your spouse at some point?
Me, no.
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 It's a broad question, eh?
Yeah.
It's broad, eh?
And maybe can we just add a little bit on that? I think one thing that the common thread that we've had our fights, we've had our disagreements. There are times I've looked at her and I'm like, okay, all right. But what has kept enduring is that we are in this for the long haul, till death does us. Yes, separates us. That's one. Two is that our marriage must honor God. So we usually have that fallback where we are, being united. At the end of the day, this must work. And it's the vision that Sophie was talking about. We always tell ourselves that no matter what, at the end of the day, this marriage has to work. So if you're not happy, you can face this side, but you're not face the wall. Well knowing that you will face back anyway.
So maybe to also add on that, having doubt at some point, those, like you said, those moments come in, where you feel the other party has annoyed you, the other party has said this and that, or the way they behave. But at the end of it all, we don't try to capitalize on that. Because one, we know where we are going. I think that has tried to keep us on the right lane. Yeah, but those areas happen, those times happen in every marriage. There is no marriage that is straight. There is no marriage that does not go through such.
Wow.
Yes.
Your last remarks. You know the time has run out. You're complaining of but time has run out.
Yeah.
Your final remarks, like on girls that are looking out to look there for their fittings.
Wow. I think what I can say is, one, I can pose a question to the ladies outside there, that are you yourself fitting for the person you're looking up to, for the character traits you want in that man? Are you yourself ready, or are you better to have that person? That is one. But also, I think it also goes back at the cross. It is Christ that gives us these spouses. So keep your focus and keep in prayer, the right person will come.
Wow. And then just as for to the men who have no vision, but they're looking out to have fittings, help them out.
It's okay to have, I think for the men, it's okay to have small beginnings, but what I can say is that don't look out for a servant, okay? Look out for someone that you can serve, that you intend to help to be better. And I want to say that there is no spouse or there is no companion that will be perfect. You will not meet a beautiful butterfly. You will find some pupa or larva somewhere, and you will help them, nurture them to be the beautiful butterfly that you want to see.
Wow, thank you so much. Have a lovely, beautiful weekend with your family. And
thank you, Brendah, for hosting us.
You're welcome. Thank you for coming through. Thank you so much for wherever you are watching us from. We love you so much. And here at Total Uganda Family TV. And every time that you tune in, just know that we love you so much. Have a beautiful weekend with your spouses, with your family, with your children, and just know that God loves you so much before we love you. And please be safe in whatever thing that you're doing, and you know that you're counted for your decisions. Have a blissful weekend.